Hello everyone, this is going to be a playthrough of the Brackenhide Hollow Dungeon on the Dragonflight Alpha that came out today. I am playing Destruction Warlock. I picked basically talents, if you're curious, just here's showing it. I'm not really sure where a lot of points should be allocated. We aren't playing with 70 talents. We are level 70, but we don't get all our talent points. I would really want this at least, taking Wilfred's or Reign of Chaos, but I tried to empower my Reign of Fire amongst other things. I'm gonna wait until they're done pulling. Let's see here. The crazy thing is, I found that if you can get a big pool, you can get a big pool and like get ready to go. Start getting generation on your Reign of Fires, because I did take the talent that gives me, like Inferno, it gives me soul shards back, potentially. It's okay, but I have noticed in these situations where mobs just die really fast, it's kind of unfortunate. They did add an AoE component to, I'm gonna stun all these. They did add an AoE component to our Incinerate, but the damage it does is pretty mediocre. We do get damage buffs on Incinerate from other talents, so that may be why. But it kind of hits like a wet noodle besides the main target you're hitting. I'm thankful that this tank is pulling very large right now. But yeah, it's I'm kind of curious if Shadow Flame, or not Shadow Flame, I'm sorry, the Cataclysm. I was thinking of what the damage was called, but if Cataclysm would be a better choice, because it immolates everything. But generally, the better sustained damage has always been take Inferno. There are a lot of talents that are bugged, so some interactions may not be representative of actual how it plays. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, this is the new dungeon. We have to free 9 Tuskar that are in cages. You're not able to open the cage in combat, so you can't cheese this. You have to actually clear. Don't ask. Oh, that was an evade bug. Mr. Bear, please get off of the well, that was a little awkward. This is 2 targets, so we'll probably be able to a bit more here. I am taking, there are just a lot of bug talents. There in the Warlock tree, there's a few cool talents that might be good for AoE at the very bottom, but they don't work. And I really wanted to try them out, but they just don't work yet. Maybe it's a logging issue. Maybe I need to relog, but I tried that and it still didn't work. I know Warrior had some weird situations with Execute. I'm just gonna drop this here. Looks like we're still pulling. That may be my bad. Dropping this early. I do miss Backdraft giving more charges. That is very noticeable. But I think they're balancing it around all the other talents we get instead of giving us multiple charges. But I personally miss having 2 in a row after using my Conflagrate. Did my ability not hit, or it didn't show damage? I yoinked aggro. I'm going to drag it to our friend here. It was probably a really bad havoc on my part. Happens. But yeah, we still have the eye level scaling issue. Things kind of, it seems like things are living a little bit longer this week, but things just still are dying pretty fast. 356 eye level. The Azure Vault, I did that dungeon as well. Abilities that were one-shotting us, so that's different, but things were dying fast and we didn't see much of the fight on the boss fight. I actually held my damage on one boss and still didn't really see much. Our tank actually asked us to, like, hey, could you hold damage or do less DPS so we could actually see the fight, and I think that's an issue, because if we're testing this, I would think we would want to see the mechanics to see if they work, right? And the first couple weeks are, oh, that is bad. Oh, this is bad. I didn't know that was a fear. Pop this. I don't have mortal coil. I didn't take it. Try and live. Get over here. Interrupt that. Yeah, I didn't know these guys had a fear. Oh, man. Should have probably held that. I'm misusing my procs pretty badly. I'm gonna have to hit a dummy. But yeah, there are a lot of bugs, but I mean, destruction feels fine. I think some nodes need to be moved around overall. But you know, I'm curious to hear what other warlocks have to say, because I'm not really a warlock player. I just have dabbled. And you know, everybody played a Destruction Warlock last season in Shadowlands, you know, just because of how strong they were. So, one of those things. Yeah, it makes me kind of like not even want to cast Immolates, because in situations where things just die like this, it's kind of better to just cast Immolates, cast Incinerates, get your shards so you can cast Rains. It's it feels really weird, and that's just because these, oh my god, this person has so many demons. Oh my lord. Demonology might be crazy. I just see this whole army right here. I'm freaking out. That's wild, man.
May your steps be sure and your catch secure.
I also don't have, since we don't have 70 talents, I'm missing a lot of things that I would want. They're making us choose between having elemental, or not elementals, infernals spawn during our infernal window by using shards, or lowering the infernal cooldown. And I personally hate 3-minute CDs, so it's probably better to have it lowered. I'm not sure. Curious. Are you mass pulling here? I'm kind of holding. Okay. There we go. Then I'm just going to cast this. It'd probably be good to Havoc this. I'll get more generation. Drop another rain. Drop another rain. Interrupt that. Going to hold for the boss so we can go into a big burst here on boss. Okay, drop. Going? We go? I have Havoc going in too. I want to see what they do. Oh no. I'll just drop a rain then. So we won't go for the big Mondo burst. Looks like the rogue goes around. Have heals they need to interrupt. Damage going out. I haven't seen anything from Rira. Oh, Blade Storm. Rip out their bones, hack you to pieces. Oh, I'm getting targeted. Fixated by the Blade Storm, so I actually have to stand in a way that it doesn't hurt other people. I am kind of just pressing buttons randomly so we can see what they do. I might actually just hold to see if anything else happens. Looks like interrupts on Trick Totem. Perhaps. And then he did a killing spree at the start. May have just been a shadow step, but I thought it was a killing spree type move. But yeah, a big issue right now is we kill bosses so fast on heroic that we just don't see all the abilities in some cases unless we hold DPS. And that's not really fun. I've noticed less people queue and test because of this, which is disappointing to me. I think a lot of people are probably going to be more focused when Mythic comes out, but it's just kind of unfortunate. So far the trash hasn't been too insane. That fear caught me off guard earlier. But in Vault, the trash has a lot of things that will just destroy your group. The tank needs to know how they're positioning. Even on heroic, we wiped at least 2 or 3 times, I think, to trash. It was kind of crazy. Oh, I won't get my bolt off. No, I will. Wow, finally. Finally, I get a chaos bolt. I'm gonna hold this. I have a free Rain of Fire. I think there's traps placed out here. Down out of rain. Move. Stun. Also another rain. I need to. I think I forgot the combat log, so I'll take a look at the. I probably won't talk about damage, since this is just gonna be a playthrough of the dungeon. As you saw, that there were 2 paths. I do want to mention that this dungeon was explorable week 1 because we did Azure Span week 1, and I made a video talking about how the loadout would look like. At that point we only had 3 bosses in the dungeon journal for this dungeon, and I was like, well, there's probably gonna be 4, and I called the positions of everything exactly right from that video, so I'm pretty pleased with myself. I do like that we have a gnoll dungeon. Pretty cool. I made a boo-boo probably. I probably shouldn't have bursted like that. God, there's so many. I'm gonna stun to try and get a reprieve here. Our healer's dead. I am very worried. Oh, we're fine. But you have an option down below to go 2 separate paths. It leads to a boss, essentially. Then you can go this way to go to the other boss, and they're each side is blocked by vines, so you can't proceed forward until you kill both bosses, and then it leads to the final boss. So there is a route difference depending on which side you want to go. The right side has a lot of environmental issues on the ground. The idea is that the life spring has been poisoned, so any of the water you touch is going to hurt you. Okay, so that has a fire lock. Looks to be similar to Oldemon. It's very unfortunate. Dead. I'll lay into this. I'll pop everything. Actually, no, they want to. You probably want to see mechanics, right? So this video isn't really going to be about damage. It's just kind of like, hopefully we actually see the abilities a little bit. I'm just going to cast every so often, not do too much damage. Probably care about killing the ads a little bit here. It looks like the traps will mark us, and then the hyenas will leap to us, or that might just be randomly targeted. Yeah, you're targeted by a trap, so we got to watch out for the traps coming in. Looks to be constant summoning of ads. I kind of wish we did this for Azure Vault. Actually trying to see what the fight does, but it seems very basic. Probably, if you don't kill the ads fast enough, you'll get overwhelmed. That'll come in on Mythic, probably. That's the second. I've done this twice. But people will always go into the cave for whatever reason. I guess it looks enticing. I'm actually gonna spread out my immolate. I'll drop this. It'll be up by the boss, hopefully. Kind of perfect range to hit all of them. Get out a bunch of rains. Get out a bunch of rains. I'm actually kind of curious if I get that free cast, I should use it on Bolt instead. Bolt's probably better in some cases. If there's 3 targets, it's probably better to use it on Bolt, especially if you have Havoc up. Depends how many rains you have out, I believe. And then as you get more and more targets, it's probably better to have it on fire. Okay. Trying to move. Sad, we pulled it that way because this is like we're just going straight to boss, but I wasn't able to lay in the damage, and like I can't drop rains because we'll move out of it. It's whatever. I was hoping to get off some really fat, juicy bolts on there. I used Havoc preemptively. Yeah, so this guy drops slimes. Slimes take up the arena. He has knockbacks, knock you into the bad water. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to stop casting after my next Chaos Bolt. Actually, no, I should probably do damage on the slimes, at least. I think the Gushing Ooze is, yeah, so they're spreading the ooze out when they die. On Mythic, depending on how it's paced, I'm sure you'll have to be careful with the whole arena. Ooh, is this, what the heck? What the heck is that? You get sucked in. That's kind of wild. That's the Devour move. I'll drop rain. Oh my. Yeah, so it looks like you can get a lot of the arena covered over time here. And again, I'm not doing as much damage as I could just so we can see the mechanics. And this is where you have the option. This is normally covered by vines. You could go either way. I'm curious to see what people will prefer. This seems to have a lot more issues where you can stand. I'm not sure if one side has more enemies or not. Oh, these guys are babies. They're not even all elites. They're up to that barely. I'm actually... Okay, so they did aggro. I'm like, what happened there? Oh, goodness. Okay, that enemy's dead. Okay, and more AoEs on the ground. Probably be good to stun them. That ability. This have to do less movement. A lot of baby mobs. Non-elites. I'm curious what the decaying totem does. I haven't looked at my debuff bar. I just beat flat damage. This is similar to the spread in Sepulchre. Is it the? It's the swarm that the dreadlords put off, I think, right? I'm trying to remember what mechanic is. Anyway, you just don't run into people, otherwise you'll spread it. And this is the final room for the final boss. Make sure I have my frontal for the fight, and then we'll wait again to try and see what happens. Actually fully capped. I'm gonna pop this. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Camera freaked out. Saw through the world there. Oh, still seeing through the world. Some, what the heck? There's a weird bug here. I wonder if anyone else saw that. It might be a zoom. Something going on with my zoom. So I'll cast a few abilities. That's free, and then I'll get that one off. Looks like we get blocked out by... I wonder if that Rot Hexer is doing that. We got to move around and not get hit by this circle. So it looks like standing in the middle is good. I'm curious. It looks like we're getting hit by things. Oh, the totem itself is destroying us. Yeah, it looks like you have to not stand. Standing in the middle might be the best way to go about that. Then we have to make sure we kill totems. We're actually dying. So that's interesting. Probably do damage now, huh? And then I got stunned. So yeah, kind of interesting fight. Not sure what's really going on. There used to be an altar up here. I don't know what happened to the altar. I don't know if that's a thing that's... Wait, I can't open the chest. Well, that's another bug. I'll just boss chest. But yeah, there used to be an altar up here in the first video. It may be an outside zone version only. I actually thought this fight would go everywhere around this room because there was an altar up here that looked it looked like it was part of the storyline, and it made sense by the Azure Span Zone, what was going on. But we just fight down here with the geysers, and that kind of threw me off. There also used to be like geysers here with water falling, so they've changed the design of this area a little bit. But yeah, that is Brackenhide Hollow. I'm glad this group took it a little bit slower, and we held our damage a little bit so we could see the mechanics. I think it's going to be a good dungeon. I'm really curious to see what it's like on Mythic. It's just kind of, we gotta wait for it. But yeah, I had a good time. Destruction Warlock's okay. I think some nodes need to be moved around, and I really want to hear what other, like, more Warlock players are saying about the tree. I see a lot of returning abilities that were strong in Shadowlands, and I mean, it seems okay. It's just where I want to go to get certain abilities, and some of the choice nodes, not a big fan. But it's not the worst tree that we've seen. I think. I may be wrong. I may be off base. But yeah, good dungeon.